Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a quick broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. I got a very important video to show you, but I always say that, don't I? But I take every video very serious, I really do. Now, you've heard me say, and you know the name of the channel, Jerusalem's Gate. You know that I'm a supporter of the Israel, the nation of Israel, and the Jewish people. I truly believe the Bible, where the Jewish people are God's chosen people. And some may ask, and I've been asked this question many times, well, how can you support and love a group of people that the majority of them doesn't believe in your Messiah? Well, the best way to answer that is that it is in fact true that a large percentage of Jewish people do not believe that Jesus Christ was the Messiah, but the Bible tells me they will. When they see him, they'll know that Jesus Christ is their Jewish Messiah. But you know, this, I've said this maybe one time before. When I was a little child, I'm middle age now, upper middle age. When I was a little child, my mother, I'm talking about since I've been an adolescent child, a little child. I say if I had to guess, 5, 6 years old, 4, 5, 6 years old, somewhere up in that area. My mother used to sit me down and tell me that, son, you must always remember that the Jewish people are God's chosen people, and you must always remember the nation of Israel. I had no clue what Israel was, or where it was Israel, or what the term Israel meant. I had no clue about a Jewish person. I was just a little adolescent child, but my mother used to sit me down very seriously too. I recall it like it was yesterday, and she would tell me, okay, son, you understand what I'm saying. You must always remember the Jewish people, and you must always remember Israel. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? And of course, like most little kids do, they say, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I had no clue about what was Israel or what was Jewish people or anything like that. And of course, as I grew with my Lord in my faith, my Christian faith, the Lord started revealing that to me. But that's a true story. That's actually my godly mother. She's with the Lord now. Used to tell me when I was a little child about Israel and the Jewish people. But I got a video to show you. It's about the first Israeli, the first Holocaust museum, I should say. The first Holocaust museum is extremely important that we remember the past and how millions of Jewish people died in the Holocaust. It's a catastrophe that we must always remember what happened to the Jewish people and make sure that never happens again. Because when I was in Israel, I went to the official Holocaust Museum, and it is, if you go to Israel, reserve minimum of 2 days to go to be allocated towards the Holocaust Museum, because it is tremendous. It has such a vast amount of space to cover. You would need 2 or 3 days to go through it. I got so emotional, I had to step outside and get some fresh air. I just had some things, you know, what my mother told me as a child, and my love for the Jewish people and how they suffered. And I can relate with suffering. People that know me know that I suffer quite often, but I don't want to go into that. But I think it's very important. Now, another reason why it's important for the people of the world to always remember the Jewish people in the state of Israel. In Genesis 12:3, this is God talking. I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curses thee, and thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. He's talking about Israel. God is talking about Israel. He will bless, I'll repeat it, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curses thee, and thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Now, I'm not saying the nation of Israel is perfect. Not one time did you hear me say that. But they are God's chosen people, and God, how does the scripture says? He that watches over Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. God's eye is completely on Jerusalem. Jesus has come to set up his throne for 1,000 years right there on Mount Zion. On the Temple Mount, Jesus Christ will actually come down and reign for 1,000 years. And I know some people says, you actually believe somebody that was alive 2,000 years ago is going to come back and he's going to reign the world for 1,000 years. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And I know today's age, that's a lot of people don't understand that and call that bizarre. But that's the God's honest truth. Well, please watch this video. All credit goes to I-24. I think you'll find it good for the heart to remember, important to remember that we should never forget what happened in the Holocaust. We can never forget the Jewish people and the nation Israel. Now we have a new administration. I do not know our new commander-in-chief position on Israel, but I pray that it's a good position. I pray it's a very good position, because the United States was grown after World War II mainly because we helped the Jewish people get free from the concentration camp, and our boys and girls came home from the war, and the baby boom happened, and the dollar became the currency of the world, and we were feared by all nations. And we became the most powerful nation the world has ever seen. Okay, the video is extremely important. Please watch it. It's coming up right now. We love you. God bless you.
This is the first place ever created to tell the story of the Holocaust. My name is India, and today I am inviting you to remember the Holocaust with me here in Western Galilee.
This is the Ghetto Fighter's house.
It doesn't look like a house. That's because it's actually a museum. The world's first Holocaust museum, here in North Israel. And it was created by actual Holocaust survivors. These survivors came together in Israel after the Holocaust to live in a community with one another. And in 1949, they put this museum right in the middle of their community to tell their story, making it the first Holocaust museum ever.
Hi, my name is Yigal Cohen, and I am the CEO of the Ghetto Fighter's house. Here, each object tells the story of the Holocaust.
When you first arrive, you get to witness how people like you and me were filled with life, laughter, and love. You can see the Jews of Warsaw had a thriving culture, all before it was disrupted by tragedy. Nazi Germany took power and started to cleanse their population of impurity. This is the master human race they were hoping to create.
The grown-ups said this was going to be the worst and most dangerous war for the Jews.
This is the children's exhibit. Here, you can even walk the path of a child living through the Holocaust. As you walk, everything gets darker and narrower. And here, they have stained glass windows that are based on drawings that children made in the ghetto, their world through their eyes. And in the end, we get to see a small glimpse of justice. This is the booth that Adolf Eichmann sat in during his trial. He was a man responsible for organizing the Holocaust. He escaped to Argentina, but was kidnapped and brought to Israel, where he faced his trial. With this tangible proof, we are reminded of how real the Holocaust was. These objects are first-hand witnesses of what really happened. Each piece is evidence of the millions of lives taken. It might seem obvious that we need to remember the Holocaust, but it is being forgotten right before our eyes. In a recent study done in the US, 63% of millennials and Gen Z did not know that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. This is extremely disturbing. Remembering the Holocaust is the reason that the Jewish community is speaking out for the Uyghurs in China, a Turkic ethnic group that the Chinese government has been forcing into re-education camps. Sounds familiar, right? Because we remember these faces and the stories they tell, we can recognize and stop a genocide when we see one.
This is why we remember.
This is Inside Israel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.